So here we go. Big health insurance companies have teamed up with Republican operative Stephen Law to launch an ad campaign against Medicare for All. Watch their first ad.
How long will you wait for care? In other countries with socialized health care, patients wait weeks, even months for treatment. Everyone forced into the same government plan, no matter how serious. Medicare for All would eliminate private insurance for 180 million people. You and every American waiting in the same government-run plan. How long will you wait?
Here's an interesting fact about this ad. They released it on YouTube, and they disabled the comment section, and they disabled the likes and dislikes. I wonder why that is. Listen, nothing but rank propaganda. That's what this is. And this is actually good news because it shows you they're afraid now. If even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you said to, a health insurance company, an executive, hey man, you better spend some money and invest in, fighting back against this rising tide of lefties calling for Medicare for all, they would laugh at you. They'd be like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to waste money doing an ad campaign. Why would we do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would we do that? Well, now people know the deal. They know that it's the answer. And there is a strong grassroots movement in favor of Medicare for all, maybe even more than any other organizing policy. It's like the main one that everybody on the left is like, yep. So now they're scared, and now they're spending money. And that's a good sign because it shows you that they're actually at the point where they're like, we have to do something. Now, here's a great point that was made by Bernie not too long ago. He predicted that this would happen. But he also said, and think about their priorities now. So this is health insurance companies funding this stuff. That's less money for actual care. So in a hilarious twist of irony, as they're trying to argue against Medicare for all, they're actually proving why it's completely necessary. Because they get to make life and death decisions, and they are actively deciding to spend money on ads to scare you, as opposed to spending that money to provide more people with care. We rest our fucking case, dude. We rest our case. And again, this is why Medicare for All, one of the reasons why Medicare for All would save money. No stupid fucking overhead. No money spent on shit like this. No money for profit for executives. It's a single payer. The government, our tax dollars, and you actually save money because there's not all this other garbage that the money has to go towards. It's just gonna go for healthcare. So they prove our point as they're trying to argue against it. It's fucking hilarious. Now, let's address the ad. This was remember back when I had that debate with that conservative YouTuber Razor Fist, and as many people online say, he got razor fisted. Well, this is one of their go-to talking points of like, oh, there's going to be wait lines. Oh. What they don't tell you is this. There are wait lines literally everywhere in the world. Not only do we have wait lines in the United States, they're actually worse. You want to know why? Because about 40,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. So if we were running an ad about how terrible this system is, we could say, no, we have literal death panels in the United States of America because some people can't get health care. And here's, somebody named Susan. Here's somebody named Steven. Here's somebody named Greg. Here's somebody named Bob. Here's somebody named Lawrence. All these people have died because they couldn't get health care because they couldn't afford it and they weren't covered. Let's run that ad. Whereas yours is like, oh, sometimes some people had to wait a little amount of time. Usually by the way, for elective procedures. So in other words, you know how they prioritize over there? Need. That's how they prioritize. Here in the US, we prioritize by, how rich are you? Do you have a lot of money? Okay, you jump to the front of the line. That's how we prioritize. They prioritize by Need. So the more you need care, the more you get help immediately. That's the way it works. So their fearmonger tactics are so stupid. They're relying on every single person watching that to not know the reality. The World Health Organization ranks us number 37th in the world. The top 10 is all single-payer systems, or virtually all single-payer systems. When you go to, and that's an old study, admittedly, so put that one aside. You say, you know what, Kyle, that one doesn't count anymore. That was, damn near 2 decades ago. Fair enough. I agree with you. What about the Commonwealth Fund? They look into this repeatedly. It's like every few years or something. And guess what? Of the 11 healthcare systems that they ranked, a very detailed analysis, they found that the United States ranks 11th out of 11. So every other developed country has a single-payer system, and they kick our ass. So here's the point, guys, and this is why I get so frustrated. This isn't a debatable issue. Like, that's the main thing I need you to take away from this, is that people are insisting on debating this. It's a fake debate. It's a lot like the climate change debate. It's not a real debate. The only reason anybody's talking about it is because the health insurance companies want you to think there's a debate here and there's a question here as to what system's better. No. The answer is in, motherfucker. We know, for sure, we know what the answer is. That you're pretending it's not the case is irrelevant to me. That you're doing rank propaganda is irrelevant to me. Anybody who does a real analysis and empirically looks at this will go, oh, there's no question here. We know what it is. So you got to educate yourself. You got to be above that. You got to not fall for these gross, sleazy political tricks, because all they care about is protecting their bottom line and protecting their money, and that's why they're coming out swinging against Medicare for all. So please, 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 everybody, do your due diligence, do your homework, and you'll see the reality. It's really not that hard to see. It is a question that we can quantify. Whose healthcare system is better and why? We have the answers. The health insurance companies don't like the answers. So they're propagandizing you to make you think the opposite is true. And it's disgusting. There's a reason why the like and the dislike button was disabled and the comments were disabled. Because people are onto their bullshit.